want to start by saying, HALAL, YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, KAKADASH. Double honors to the Apostles of Israel, aka the Apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and love to all the Akim. Continue to preach the truth and all truth and sincerity. All right, real quick, so just came across something, a couple things actually, and inspiration of the video says another airline shuts down for summer, cancels all flights. All right, now this is from thestreet.com, which is it's a decent source, and there's another one from I guess that's what, Channel 9 News or whatever. Now all these are from like 18 hours, 21 hours, 15 hours ago, so within the last day or two. One, it says Delta Airlines, Air Canada cut routes in response to rising jet fuel pricing. Now that's what's been going on a lot lately, or the reason why a lot has been going on as far as things of this nature, as airlines cutting flights, gas prices going up, so on and so forth. You know what I'm saying? The main reason is this whole thing going on with Iran, all right, and this whole war, all right. So you see the turmoil it's bringing to the earth, and it's all due to who? Who is the person that brought this on? Who is the person that's the reason for who? Esau, Edom, who happens to be the nation that's in power right now. But you see that this devil's in power. You see the condition of the world now. Now everything is completely fucked. So I'm going to go to this first because this is actually what brought it on. So it says another airline shuts down for summer, cancels all flights. It says travelers with canceled flights are being offered refunds and rebooking options. Now it goes into, hold up. What it says in 2nd Esdras chapter 15, I'm going to get it. Chapter 15, verse 17, it says, a man shall desire to go into a city and not be able. Now, granted, we always talk about like things like checkpoints and like, like if it's like actually civil unrest where like, you know what I'm saying, you don't want to go there. But now it's actually, you actually can't go there. So whatever you were trying to do, if you were desiring to go somewhere, you can't go because of why? Not because you can't go or you don't have the means to, but the whole world economy is fucked up because why? There's the jet fuel, the fuel issues, all right, and that's something that's prevalent to the world's economy because obviously it's stopping people from traveling, which is stopping people from what doing the tourism stuff and all that. But anyway, so we'll go right into the article. So it says, with any attempts at peace talks over Iran now falling through multiple times, the war has created a major crisis for airlines when it comes to the cost of jet fuel. Hold on one second. Okay. When it comes to the cost of jet fuel and the safety of certain routes, local airlines such as Emirates and Etihad have been running some flights into and out of Dubai, yet major international carriers have canceled all service into United Arab Emirates and several nearby countries as the ripple effects of the war set off by the U.S.-Israeli strike last February continue across the Middle Eastern region. This is from what? Hold on one second. $18 hours ago. This from 18 hours ago. So it says because the U.S. and what? Amalek. It says Delta Airlines, United Airlines, Air Canada, British Airways, Air France, and KLM are among the major airlines currently not flying into Dubai due to ongoing security concerns. So now you bitches can't get shit on. There's a whole thing that, you had the women go over there, a lot of our women, a lot of Jake women going over there to Dubai and getting porta pottied on. They call them porta potty, whatever the fuck it's called, where they let these rich Arabs take poop on them for money. But anyway, it says be on flights to Maldives canceled until October 2026. It says established in 2022 as an airline with the Airbus A319 configured with all business class seats, male base B on D, whatever, had lofty plans of growing into the main airline for travelers headed to the Maldives. Now, mind you, these are people with well-to-do. people that have money. We talk about Dubai. Dubai is known for the wealth and all that shit. But it don't mean nothing when there's an oil crisis and you need oil to sustain your economy. And remember, this is the world economy, not just America, not just the Middle East, not just Europe, not just Asia, but the whole world. Because if people can't travel to Dubai and all that, what's going to happen for the regular flights eventually? Where these airlines really start to run out of oil, fuel. All right? Now you had some prominent airlines mentioned. It said United, it said what? It said you had Delta Airlines, United Airlines, Air Canada, British Airways, Air France, and KLM are among the major airlines currently not flying into Dubai due to ongoing security concerns. So not just the fuel prices, but now security concerns. Because why? It's all over there in that region where this war is taking place. Because I want to say, I don't know, what there a base over there? A U.S. base over there? I'm not too sure, but I know it's something on in that region because it was a lot of U.S. military bases over there in that region, and you have a lot of U.S. tourism and activity from America going to that region. United Emirates. All right. It said the airline had been running flights to the capital of the nation in the Indian Ocean associated with extreme luxury. So not just regular low-class people flying, but luxury flights. From the UAE, Saudi Arabia, and Egypt, as well as European cities such as Milan and Zurich. Prior to the current situation, Beyond was also preparing to launch flights from London, Heathrow, and Paris by December 2026, while also eyeing the first direct service to the Maldives from the U.S. at some point after. But as is now apparent from the airline's booking and availability and Curium flight data, Beyond has canceled all of its service for the summer. So this up-and-coming airline, I guess, for luxury, all of a sudden has canceled all summer flights. So if this continues to fester on, you're gonna have a lot. Matter of fact, let me get the scripture real quick. Hold up. Let me continue reading this article. Hold on, do I got my pocket phone on me? Hell no. Shit. But yeah, so cancel all its service to the summer. It says although the airline had initially canceled only longer routes that made a stopover in Dubai as the nearest major hub, falling traveler numbers to the entire region likely led to a full grounding of the fleet in the hopes of restarting in October 2026. But a lot can happen from, what is it, we in April, about to be May, into October. That's a good, what, 6 months? Roughly. It says Beyond promises flexible rebooking options or full refund. It says if you're booked to travel with us this summer, our guest experience team will be in touch within the next 72 hours with flexible rebooking options, including fee-free moves to winter, future travel within 12 months, or a full refund. The airline wrote in a Facebook post on April 18th, which is a couple of days ago. Was that 3 days ago? But remember, they got to go according to the situation going on in the Middle East, or with Iran and America and Israel. Yo, what the fuck? So they're saying they're going to give refunds. It says the last flight from Zurich to Velana International MLE is scheduled to run on May 1st. So that's one article. I'm going to get one more article and then I'm going to bring some scriptures. What the fuck? Okay. Now they mentioned this, but this is from News West 9, Channel 9 or whatever. And this goes, and so it talks about, it says Delta Airlines, Air Canada cut routes in response to rising jet fuel prices. Now, but why is there rising jet fuel prices? Because of this war going on. This is the sole reason why this is going on. Because it just, I mean, whatever issues you could have with fuel, but it seems like what we know right now, as of February 28th up until now, is because of what's going on with what? Iran. Them closing the Strait of Hormuz after America and Israel attacked them. These small acts attacked them. Nobody else, no other issues in the world right now was causing such an issue. But now, since they didn't attack Iran, now it's causing an issue because of what Iran has control of, which is in the Strait of Hormuz. See, it was all good when you had Russia, Ukraine, when Israel fighting the Lebanon and all that. But once they attacked Iran, which is prophecy, because what, we're going into the Persians. Now it's like, yo, now it's taking a different turn. It's more of an impact. All right. So this Delta Airlines and Air Canada. So it says Delta Airlines and Air Canada are the latest air carriers to scale back service as jet fuel costs render some routes unprofitable. See that? Unprofitable. So now it's what? Fucking with their bottom line. It says summer travel may be a bit more turbulent than expected as airlines begin to cut flight routes as jet fuel prices continue to rise. Now, mind you, this article is from like what? That looked like 20-some hours ago. And here we go, some more. It says the war in Iran has sent fuel prices soaring, leading to pricier flights and potential fuel shortages overseas. Remember, you gotta refuel. You gotta refuel where you refuel at. It says many airlines have already raised checked bag fees or added fuel surcharges as the global price of jet fuel increased from about $99 per barrel at the end of February to as high as $209 a barrel at the beginning of April. So that shit went up what? Over $100. $110. Cause what? $100 plus 99 is $199 plus another what? 9? So $109. So it went up another $109. Beginning of April. It says Air Canada and Delta announced several routes will be paused over the summer. And remember, this is the worst time for that to be happening. Summertime, a lot of people do traveling. Now, there's other airlines, but you know what, the other airlines are going to start to be affected. And remember, it's not just because the airline is better, but they all need fuel. There's no airline you can't work without the fuel. So if fuel's being an issue for one airline, why wouldn't it be an issue start to be an issue for other airlines? And you're going to hear about that more if this thing doesn't subside, and we hope it don't. Matter of fact, it's going to just get worse. Because now that they done cracked the can open with attacking Iran and all this is happening, how can it just stop? All right? None of these wars that just been starting over the last few years have just stopped. Russia and Ukraine been fighting for 4 years now. The whole thing, which this stems from with Iran, it started with the quote unquote small hats in October in 2023. So that's going on 3 years now. So what do you think that remember, these wars are not going to stop till YAHAWASHI comes back. Can't stress that enough. Because through the spirit and power of YAHAWASHI, we know that the day is near. So it's not like it's going to go back to being peaceful. It's not like it's going to go back to being regular. All right? Oh, shit. Oh, my gosh, man. These ads. So it says, over the summer. It says, Delta Airlines said the flight route adjustment is a part of normal planning process. As part of our summer planning, we've made select adjustments across a small number of routes. A spokesperson for the Atlanta-based airline confirmed in a statement, Delta evaluates a range of factors when making these decisions and continues to offer extensive service for customers. We will directly contact any impacted customers with alternate options. Oh, here's a list of the cuts. So the cuts affected in Delta cut summer flight, the routes impacted. It said JFK, New York City to Memphis, Tennessee from June 7th to September 7th. Excuse me, JFK in New York City to St. Louis, New York City to St. Louis, Boston to Nassau, Bahamas for July 18th to September 5th. DTW Detroit to SMF, which is Sacramento, California, paused June 1st through March 2027. Now, obviously, this stuff could change due to the fluctuation of the situation, but as of right now, they say JFK, New York City to Houston is from June 7th to September 8th. RDU, which is Raleigh, Durham, North Carolina to Las Vegas, June 2nd to September 8th. So yeah, so they're basically talking about the summer. Now let's get to the scripture. Now I'm gonna read it. This is the book of 2nd Esdras, the 15th chapter, but I'm gonna read this in the GNT. Fuck, my hell ads. Oh, come on, man. So in fact, we'll go right to the point because I ain't got much time. So this is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 15, verse 12, and this in the GNT, which means good news translation. And this is good news, man. Yeah, it's fucked up. It may sound fucked up, but this is a good thing because why? This is the place of our captivity going down, man. This is the second Egypt going down. All right, so this is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 15, verse 12 in the NLT, but the point is in verse 17. The whole land will be in mourning. It will be shaken to its foundations when I, the Lord, strike it and pound on it. Now, granted, let's talk about the actual destruction, but even before this happens, before the destruction happens, you got the Lord bringing this place down, bringing his devil's kingdom down, because not just America, which is the whore of Babylon, Babylon the Great, but his whole kingdom. And all these other nations that rule aside with Esau, over the Israelites. But forget that these heathens have a part in his kingdom over Jake, over the Israelites. So it's about time for you all to go down. The Lord said what? Obadiah chapter 1, verse 15, it says, for the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen. So not just Esau gonna feel it, man, all you nations. United Arab Emirates, that's Ishmael over there. You got Elam getting fucked up because they talk about shit with the fuel and they about to be running out of fertilizer. All right. It says, verse 13 of 2nd Esdras chapter 15 in the GNT, it says, the farmers will mourn, and that's definitely happening. The farmers will mourn because their seed will fail to sprout and their trees will be destroyed by blight, hail, and terrible storms. The world and the people in it are doomed. So mind you, aside from all the natural disasters that's going to come upon the farms, look what's going on with these AI data centers. Esau's bringing the storm. The whole thing with if the fertilizer issue becomes so much of an issue, they say these farmers ain't going to be able to do their farm thing. Agricultural, you know what I'm saying, destruction. All right. On top of it, you still might have some storms happen. Storms. 2nd Esdras chapter 15, verse 14 in the GNT, it says, the world and the people in it are doomed. The war that will bring their destruction is very near. Nations will arm themselves and fight against other nations. That's what's happening right now. Nations are arming themselves to fight against other nations. And now nations are fighting against other nations. So we already in this war. We are, and it's only going to intensify and get worse and worse and worse. It says there will be great political turmoil, which is already happening. There will be great political turmoil with one group trying to overpower another and gain control while ignoring their legitimate government. That's exactly what's happened. They should not regard their kings nor their princes. You got a lot of these Edomites out here talking about, yo, we need to, you know what I'm saying, strap up and get right. Basically, they're talking about revolution. There should be sedition among men. It said, verse 17, there will no longer be free access to the cities, and that's even with the flights. Let's say somebody that got the money, they talk about people of luxury flights, the one airline. So let's say you got these people that got money, but you can't go nowhere without the oil. You can have to fly his car, but you can't do nothing if you ain't got no gas. It's like having a gun with no bullets. I mean, even though you could gut butt somebody, but you can't shoot them. You can't use the what it's actually for. And so call law Yahawah BAHASHAM outside for that. It said a man should desire to go into a city and not be able to. That's in the King James. So you got these people that desire to go to Dubai, they're desiring to go such and such. Matter of fact, look. The cities in question for the summer is New York to Memphis, New York to St. Louis, Boston to the Bahamas, Detroit to Sacramento, JFK, New York City to Houston, and Raleigh, Durham, North Carolina to Las Vegas. So all people that's trying to go to these cities by these airlines, you ain't gonna be able to do it. You ain't gonna be able to do it. And that's what it's prophecy, man. It's a part of the prophecy. Yeah, it might not be checkpoints or like martial law and all that, but just considering you can't go somewhere where you're desiring to go. Which why it says a man shall desire to go into a city and not be able. The reason could be anything. The reason could be literally anything. And the reason right now is because, and why is this happening with the airlines? Because what? The cost of fuel. And now people are not going to be able to travel in the summer, which is a major travel time in the summer. All right? But that's it. So hey, man. So, hey, man, we're almost out of here, man. The Lord is breaking this place down, man. And it's all because of this war. So now, the civil unrest, the anarchy, all that is stemming from this war. Everything, and it's all intertwined with each other. The prophecies are all intertwined with each other. So, with that, Lord willing, is edifying. I'm going to give all praises to Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, Kakadash. Double honors to the powers of Israel, aka the powers of Great Millstone. And peace and love to all the Akim. Continue to preach the truth. Continue to preach the truth and all truth and sincerity. Shalom.